Okay, next up on Behind the Feathers, we've got Coach Daryl Shore joining us. And Coach, I just want to say I'm glad I'm not a player on the team because I am still recovering from Saturday.
I think the players are still recovering too, Jason. No, listen, it was a great night. The players really bought into everything we asked of them going into the game and really stuck with everything. We knew it was going to be a hard game. We knew we were playing a quality opponent, but having over 150 of our fans in that stadium rocking, I think that helped bring our players over the top, and we got the much needed, but also what I would say much warranted result that we deserved in that game.
Yeah. So I don't want to bask in the glory of the result for too long because we've immediately got to switch into playoff mode. But if you'll indulge me, I just want to go through the game with you a little bit.
Sure.
So the way it starts off is interesting, right? Because there's an injury early on. I've looked back at this tackle on Danny Tenaria, and I can't believe that there wasn't at least a card given, right?
Yeah, to be fair, when the tackle happened, I actually turned to the staff and said, I think that was a good tackle, a hard tackle anyway. But when you go back and watch it on video, it's bad. It's actually, the player comes over the top of the ball, and he does get the ball, but he comes over the top and is pretty high in the tackle. So I don't know if it's something that they go back and look at. Again, in the run of play, it's hard. It's hard for the referee because it does seem to be a fair challenge. But when you do go back and look at it, it's a little bit nasty. And we knew it was going to be a hard game. Unfortunately for Danny, now he's done for the season. Probably looking at surgery. We're still waiting on the results of the MRI. But that's soccer, and unfortunately it happens. But got to give Brian Bement a lot of credit for staying focused and coming into the game in a hard situation, and really we felt probably had his best game of the season. So kudos to him, and also kudos to the rest of our group for picking up the pieces from where Danny was left off with the injury and sticking to the task at hand, which was getting the result.
I mean, what's going through your mind at that point? You've got to make a change 15 minutes in. What do you need to do to make sure the game plan isn't torn up?
Well, it's a like for like sub, so it really doesn't change anything in the way that we play. It's a target forward going in for a target forward, and the way Danny plays and the way Brian plays, though it may not be too similar, the way we try and play with our nine, they both give us some attributes that we like, and Brian did a good job in this game of holding up balls and battling with their two center defenders, and again, did a good job coming in a tough situation.
Yeah, so what happens then is, Brian is involved in exactly what you said on the goal. He holds the ball up and makes a good pass, and before halftime, just a few minutes before halftime, we're up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, we came out of the game firing on all cylinders. We told the guys that we didn't have to win the game in the first 5 to 10 minutes, but they for sure came out ready to go, and so that was good. Lansing had a couple of opportunities, normal soccer game of a little bit of chances by them, a little bit chances by us, but the run of play, we felt we had the better of it. JC actually makes a good play to play a ball into Brian to start the play. Brian does a good job of winning the ball back because he, in fairness, almost loses it, but does win the ball back, and then has the awareness to find Carter. Carter does what he's very good at, which is getting down the end line and serving a good ball. And I think if you ask Don about the play, he would tell you that it's really a good thing that his left foot is not his stronger foot. But it's a right place at the right time. He puts the ball back across, and obviously JC's there for the finish. Great goal, and a 10 on the back foot as well.
It definitely was. So then you come into halftime and you've got a tough decision to make on whether you want to push ahead and try to score a second goal or whether you want to defend the lead. So what did you look to do?
We don't ever, when we come in to a halftime lead up 1-0, we don't ever tell our group to just sit back and defend.
Yeah.
We still try to push the game and be positive in the way we try to push the game and get the second goal, because we know the second goal can put the game away. And you know, it's natural, I think, for teams when they have a lead to drop a little deeper and maybe get a little bit defensive. But we still make a couple of plays in the early to middle part of the second half where we have a couple of good quality chances. Obviously, we get the penalty.
Right.
It gets saved.
Right.
But at the same time, defensively, we made it clear that we didn't want them to play through the middle of us, which they didn't do that on the night. And at the end of the day, they have the one chance that comes off of a deflection and then a shot that Ryan's there to make the save. But all in all, a very good defensive performance from our entire group.
Yeah, I think they had, one shot on target the whole game. And this is a team that all year has been really good in transition play. And against us, they really didn't get it going.
Yeah, it's a testament to our players and sticking with the task at hand of trying to make it hard for them to play and trying to make it obviously hard for them to play through us. And one of those things where we told our guys if they got the ball wide, we'd have to defend wide service on a small field. But overall, we did a really good job defensively in the entire game.
Yeah, and like you mentioned up top, maybe the best part was right at the end when you got to go over and celebrate with the fans.
Yeah, it's again, we've said this time and time. And
yeah,
time
how
again,
many times,
how
right?
amazing our fans are, but to have again 150 fans rocking Lansing, it's just again a testament to the flock, testament to our club, testament to our players. Everybody is bought into what's happening here in Madison, and it was just a great relief to give them what they came for, which was the 3 points.
And just, being there myself as well, what a moment to be able to have the players go up to the fans, even though they were separated by that foul ball net, and just to sing with them, to thank them, and then after the game as well, when they came out to get on the team bus and the fans were still there waiting for them.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to be able to walk through a tunnel of our fans, but I also think a few of our fans found a way to get up into the stadium and celebrate with
they might have
with our flock, and obviously get to a couple of our handicapped fans as well. So there's no stopping our players from congregating with our fans and enjoying the moment.
Yeah. So we've had one really good, really happy moment on Saturday, and now we're hoping to create two more, right? So we've got to very quickly switch our focus to North Texas. What is the status of the team looking like going into that game?
We're banged up. We've got some injuries. Brian Sylvester's dealing with an ankle. Don Smart's in a boot right now dealing with an ankle, so not sure what the status of those two is going to be. Danny Tenorio obviously is out for the game with a knee, so those are three important players that we're not sure where they're going to be, but we've always been the team of when one guy is down, the next guy has to step up, and I think that was pretty evident in two players in our last game, one being Brian Bement and the other one being Ryan Coulter, stepping in and not missing a beat with how we've been playing and everything. So we're going into a place where they've only lost once at home. They're the best team in our league. They're well coached. They're young. They're an exciting team to play against. They've got good players in both sides of the field, both defensively and in the attack. But at the same time, we've had good results against them at home, and we even feel like the two games that we played at their place, the first one could have gone either way, and obviously the 95th minute penalty that was given is what it is, and then they deserve to beat us 3-1 in the second time that we played them, but that again was our 8th game in a month, and we were done for. That was a tough game for us. So we know it's going to be a tough game, but at the same time, I think they have to be thinking the same thing, that it's going to be a tough game for them too.
So another item that's going to raise some questions coming into this game is the availability of some of North Texas's players. We know Ronaldo Damus, who's the league's leading goal scorer right now, is with the Haitian national team. We also know that FC Dallas qualified for the MLS playoffs, and they might want to keep some of those bubble guys behind. So is it difficult for you to plan, not really knowing what types of players they're going to have on the field?
We think we have a pretty good idea of who's going to play and who's not going to play. There's league rules as well, so any of their guys who haven't played 5 games from the first team that have first team contracts can't play in the playoffs. So it doesn't matter who they put on the field. They're good regardless of whether they put first team guys on there or their academy guys or their North Texas team. They're a good team. So we have to worry about ourselves and what we can put on the field and put a game plan together that we think is going to work going down there. It's a big field. It's a grass field. So a couple of different circumstances. But at the end of the day, it won't matter what 11 players they put on the field because we're going to put 11 players on the field as well. And we're going to go and try and match, player for player against them.
And I suppose looking from the outside in, we're probably going to be labeled the underdog in this game, right? We're in 4th place. They're in 1st. Does that give you any motivation to go?
I mean, rightfully so. We should be the underdog. They're the number 1 seed. They've won 17 games. They're again, I keep saying they're a good team. They're well coached. So we're not supposed to win the game on paper or whatever the reporters or whoever picked these games. But we have to believe in ourselves. And as a group, we've dealt with a lot of adversity this year, both on and off the field. And so it's made our group stronger. And it's one of those things where we talk about having a good week of training, and if we have a good week of training, then we'll go down there and we'll give it our best shot, and hopefully at the end our best shot is good enough and we walk out of there with the victory, and we're talking about where we're going next to play for a championship.
Oh, I really hope so. Now, I know we'll have some fans down there. The team announced Tuesday that they're going to pay for tickets for any fans that can make the trip. I also know that we're going to hopefully have a couple hundred people in the brass ring watching back in Madison. That's always nice, right? To have some people there, have your back cheering you on.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's always great to have your supporters travel with you, and we've had great support pretty much everywhere we've been. You look at Tucson, we had the group from Salt Lake City and the group from New Mexico in Tucson cheering us on. You look at Richmond and the tour.
Greenville, right?
Greenville, we had a handful of fans there. You look at the first game in Chattanooga,
Orlando,
we had 30 people there. Orlando, we have the Flamingos there, followed by the Sylvester, Bartley, Shore families making their way up, and the whole Abney family. I can't leave out Neil's parents either. But it's one of those things where we've got the greatest fans in USL League One. There's no doubt about it. I don't think anybody can argue that. But what's even better is seeing the environment of our watch parties. And even after the game on the bus, we're driving home, and Neil has on the video of the watch party, and I'm always like, what is that? Because I'm telephone dumb and all that stuff, and I can't figure that stuff out. So he's always showing me all the videos and stuff. But it's one of those things where what goes on here in Madison during our games it's great. I mean, it's awesome to know that our fans are tuned in and watching, and they're really, really passionate about what's going on here. And it'd be a great feat for us to go to Texas and win the game.
Yeah. Well, I know they'll all be cheering you on. We'll be cheering you on from back in Madison, and hoping that we have one more week of this crazy, crazy season to go.
Yeah, let's try and get it done.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Jason. Have a good one.